What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Podcast Studios. App like you got some sense. Smash the like and subscribe button. We like it when you do that here. Also, you see various different social media platforms scrolling across the bottom. You can follow us there. If you want to donate directly to the madness, hit us up at Cash App $Vern Dollars. That's DOLLAZ. I want to talk to you all today about the Green Bay Packers. My cheesehead guys, the good folks, the Lambeau. How do you feel about the Green Bay Packers? Because I got to ask you a question. Life after death ain't so bad. And when I say life after death, I mean life after Aaron Rodgers. I expected Green Bay to have nothing less than a pitiful season, and I've been pleasantly surprised. Which leads me to ask this question. Is Matt LaFleur's best coaching display, is this his best coaching display since 2019 when he got in the league? Now, I know when people go back and they look at 2019, 2020, and etc., you're looking at someone who came into the league with the Aaron Rodgers, and they had weapons, and even he had Cobb back, and then Crosby was a dead arm kicker. This year, he has none of that. And that's why I say he's my coach of the year. Green Bay is 8-8, and they're looking at a wild card berth. They're probably going to be one of the most dangerous wild card teams in the NFC. And I'll give you my reasoning why after we take a quick 20-second break from an unofficial sponsor. Yes, Taco Bell, live Moz. Taco Bell. Try a $5 cravings box. Cheesy burritos, gorditas. I'm sure they're delightful. Visit your good folks down at your local Taco Bell. Order online, download the app. Now, getting back to business. Green Bay can make the playoffs, and they need a little help. They need help from 3 teams, but they only need 2 of these teams to have a loss. That's the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Falcons. Lucky for them, the Seahawks and the Falcons play each other. The Rams, their season finale is against the San Francisco 49ers. So if you're a huge Green Bay fan, by proxy, you should be a huge San Francisco 49ers fan, because they would leapfrog right into a good seed to get them into the wild card race. And I mean, if you're looking at, this is how I judge when it comes to coach of the year. I look at who you have in personnel out on the field, what the record is, and what the expectation is. Now, I know they're going to give it to Harbaugh and Baltimore, deservingly so. The Ravens are playing lights out. I think that's the most scary team that I've seen in a while in the NFL. But I look at, you've got Lamar Jackson, a.k.a. Superman, and you've got one of the, most rigid defenses of, it's ranking up there with the old Ray Lewis and Tim Suggs. It's their kind of defense. Jadeveon Clowney is playing like a man possessed. I hear all of that. But when you go to Green Bay, the polar opposite, Jordan Love has only played, up until this year, he only played in 3 NFL games. His stat line was 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's it. And then you look at everything that LaFleur and the Packers organization lost. Linebacker, Chris Barnes, he went to Arizona. Deion Lowry, he went to the Vikings. Allen Lazard, he went to the Jets. That was their number one wide receiver. That guy had 2,236 yards on the season. You lost that. Defensive lineman Jaron Reed, he goes back to Seattle. Robert Tonga, he goes to the Bears. He's playing in the Midway, the Monsters of the Midway. That's the tight end. He had 1437 last year. These are weapons and his options. And I'm sorry, when I look at the Green Bay roster, I can't pick these guys out of a lineup. I can't pick these dudes out of a lineup. Mason Crosby gone. No Randall Cobb. The elephant in the room, Aaron Rodgers is gone. And you still post 8-8? And the Green Bay Packers are actually getting ready to make the playoffs on a wild card. And they've got an intramural squad. And it's no disrespect to the guys out there lacing up, because that's not what we do. We don't talk trash. We don't degrade athletes and everything. But I'm just being honest. None of these guys he's playing with are household names. And so if Matt LaFluer is going to be my coach of the year, I'll tell you why Jordan Love is the most improved player of the year as well, after we come back from a quick 20-second break from another unofficial sponsor of the show. Yes, Subway, eat fresh, refresh. Subway, visit the good folks at your local Subway. Try some of the delectable sandwiches. Also, download the app, order online. Subway, eat fresh, refresh. So, back to business. Jordan Love is the most improved player of the year to me, because what I just laid out before you in the last segment before our break was that he only played 3 games. And he had 3 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. This year, this kid is playing like a baller. 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and the yardage. And nobody can predict that. This kid is thrown for 3,843 yards this season. I don't know who he's throwing the ball to. And that's why I give him the most improved player. Because if this guy is putting up this kind of production without household names, imagine what he can do in 2024. Because Green Bay, they're under the cap. They've got cap space. Yes, Green Bay Packers, they have cap space at $34.34 million in cap space. And then if you go out in 2024 and you're looking at who's who on the chopping block, and you want to go ahead and put somebody that's, I want to say, dangerous, you want to put them in the lineup with you. I mean, at running back, now this is who's a free agent and the market value and what you can get for him. You can get Derrick Henry from the Titans, $11.2 million for 2 years. That is worth it. That is worth it. If the Green Bay Packers go after Derrick Henry, the Green Bay Packers have just jumped right back in front of the Detroit Lions for supremacy in the NFC North. He's not the only one out there. You're looking at, if you want to go ahead and get a guy who's not happy where he is, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is available. $19 million for 3 years. Oh yeah, he's available. He's available. I mean, you can even go back and get Dalvin Cook, put him on a 1-year deal for $4.3 million. You got the money. So if you're going to rank those in terms of, yeah, I'd like to get this guy, he's a featured guy. And the only reason I say that the Saquon Barkley thing is more likely than not is because of the way the whole New York thing shook out. when they paid Daniel Jones all of this money, he's definitely not worth it. At the same time, Lamar Jackson was trying to negotiate with the Baltimore Ravens. From them. So, why stay? The Giants aren't serious about putting weaponry around him. They're not serious about trying to go ahead and help him out on the offensive line at all. Don't do a millionaire a favor. Get out of there and go play for somebody while you still got the ability to. Derrick Henry is so much. Hey, look, Derrick wants out of Tennessee. Green Bay's got the money. And then if you want to go ahead and get this guy a wide receiver, now on the wide receiver, DJ Clark out of Carolina, he is young, but $10 million for 1 year, I'm not interested. Josh Reynolds out of Detroit, $14 million for 2 years, seems a little excess. Especially Reynolds, given that it's a conference rival. You don't want to kind of dip into that. But if you're going to go pie in the sky, Tyler Boyd in Cincinnati, 3 years, $26 million. You got the money. Now, you might not be able to get Derrick Henry and Tyler Boyd, but you can get one or the other. And that'll help save. If you go ahead and play the smart money with Derrick Henry, then you're going to save Jordan Love's arm. Because, like I say, you got Derrick Henry. He can punish him on the ground in between the tackles, out in space. Then you can kind of throw for the short yardage on third downs, a little dink and dunk passes, get behind the linebacking core. We all know how that works. Again, we talk sports. We don't do spin. We don't do gossip. We don't get into that. We keep it 100% football. I have no opinion other than saying, hey, look, I think we have to have different criteria for just, hey, look, we won. What did you win with? And not to like switch lanes on anybody, but that's why I really don't, when people say Phil Jackson was the best coach in the NBA, I'm like, well, man, you got a guy who actually had the two best players on the planet for almost 20 years. You know, you went from Scottie and Jordan right on to Shaq and Kobe. You know, hey, okay. I think what Larry Brown did with the Detroit Pistons with Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, and them when they beat LA, I thought that was a really good team. That one made more sense to me to go with journeymen and guys who had been around instead of having the super. The good people of Lambeau, you got cap money for next year. You know Jordan Love is the future. You have a great coach who took a bunch of guys, I don't know, who aren't household names and produced a wild card. And if they beat Chicago, which they already beat Chicago earlier this year, they could be going into the wild card race with the wins in their sails and be the most dangerous wild card team playing in the NFC. Let me know what you all think. As usual, like, share, and subscribe. You know we like the coverage. I'm Vern, and I'm out.